I am penicillin.
I am bacteria.
That zone, though. That's enough. Okay, I'm going to get a cup of tea.
No, wait, cup of tea. Just had one.
I'm thirsty for a cup of tea.
You're not thirsty. You just had a cup of tea.
I know. I need another one.
No, you're addicted.
Well, there must be some sort of solution to an addiction to tea. They must have thought of it, right?
Maybe there's a drug, but I don't think there is a drug.
Okay, if we start a drug now,
Right.
in about 10 years, I'll be cured, right?
I think that's how it works.
Yeah.
You need to go through all the stages that they would do it.
Alright, so...
First, we need to test it on non-humans.
Absolutely.
Martians.
Absolutely. They're humans too.
Oh, you're right. Okay, so mice.
So what we'll probably do first as well is put it through a computer simulation.
That's a good idea. See if anything else is out there that would work.
So I'm going to put computer plus mice.
Yeah. So
that's not a computer mouse.
That
Don't
is...
get them mixed up.
No.
Computer and mice.
So you test what it could be using algorithms, and then you test that on the mice, and if the mice is alive, maybe try it on people.
Yeah. But mice have a similar brain chemistry to people, although their brain isn't quite as complex. It's pretty similar.
Yeah.
So if they display side effects, or if they die, if it causes like proper serious things, you probably won't give them to people.
Yeah, but if that goes okay, then we'll do phase 1. Now, phase 1 is going to give it to a small group of people, so then anything that's wrong go wrong. It's only a couple of people that goes wrong too. Still bad, but limit the damage there.
Yep, so it's a small number. Also, this small number, they're all healthy. You're just looking for side effects rather than its effect of curing.
Yeah.
So these people will not have a tea addiction.
They will not.
So they're healthy in terms of that. And if they display side effects that the mice didn't show, then it won't go on to the next stage.
Yeah.
It's not good enough.
But if that's fine, that stage goes on to a second stage. This is phase number 2. Now, quite a few things happen in phase number 2. First, a lot more people.
Loads of people. These people have tea addictions.
Yeah. So these people are actual patients.
Yeah.
So there's another part of this trial, and that's the placebo.
There is, so you can run that, John.
Okay.
So placebo, you've probably heard of it before, but just in case you haven't, it's an inactive dummy. So
Essentially like taking a mint. It hasn't got the drug in it.
absolutely, but it will look the same. It will look exactly the same to the outside eye. And of these loads of people, half of them will have a placebo, half of them will not. And so half of them will have this placebo, and some of them might show the placebo effect. What's that?
Well, that's when you take something and you think, oh, I feel better because you're taking it, not because it's actually doing anything.
So it's like a psychological effect. You think you're getting better. It's called the placebo effect. The others, if they get better, they're probably actually getting better.
So what you measure is how much better they're getting than the people who had a placebo. It's kind of like your control there. What they also often do is a double-blind trial.
And that means that not everyone knows who's got the placebo. So the doctor's giving you these prescriptions, even they don't know if you've got the placebo or the actual drug. So the doctors can't impact you.
Yeah.
So
yeah, there's that. So that's a good way to do it. And if it succeeds on that one,
then we go to phase 3.
Phase number 3.
And that's loads and loads.
Loads and loads and loads and loads of people. And yeah, testing any other effects that could happen. So healthy and unhealthy, just everyone really.
Yeah, and this one definitely has double-blind trials, because this one's sort of an optional, normally does, but it's not essential, whereas here, absolutely essential. They do have double-blind trials.
Yeah, let's test.
People who aren't on the ward, they know who's got which, otherwise you won't be able to compare.
Yeah.
But the doctors have no impact. So
just in case they might go, the other person, either tell them, which is bad, or just treat them differently because they're actually looking at them more.
Yeah.
Looking at everyone equally, fair testing.
This one also, phase 3, it compares the effectiveness of this drug against drugs that do a similar thing.
Yeah.
So for tea, currently there's no cure for tea addiction.
So this one would be, you wouldn't have to compare it to anything else.
But once that's been done, there might be another cure for tea. They might find another anti-tea plant.
Which will be good.
And they'll go through all this, it'll get to this, and it will compare to the current tea one and see if it's actually any better, or if this whole thing was a complete waste of money and time.
Yeah, so these things get to make new drugs for illnesses and that sort of thing, but some things you already have drugs for.
Absolutely. And we can test the effectiveness of drugs in a little thing you have to know, unfortunately.
You do, and that's about using drugs against certain bacteria to prevent growth or remove them entirely.
Absolutely. So what we do is we take a petri dish.
We do take a petri dish full of, got some agar in there, nutrient jelly.
Yep, so that's just there.
Yeah, so the bacteria will grow and then just die immediately.
I will label that.
Okay.
Agar gel.
So then you'll have some discs, maybe you're testing the effect of maybe penicillin.
Yep, so I'm going to put small beakers here. One might have penicillin, I'm just going to put P.
Right.
Another one might have something that's like penicillin, we'll call it the cracker drug. It might be better than penicillin if you're trying to test. and then say distilled water, so absolutely nothing special.
Yeah. So you dip your little disc into one of these.
These are liquids, right? All of these.
So you dip your discs in, and then you put the discs on the gel.
Absolutely. So in this case, we will have 3
We
discs.
will.
Make sure they're quite separated and not too close to the edge.
So
It'll
I
clear
think
wine in a
we
minute.
should call this one C squared, just to differentiate from the control.
Yeah, so we'll sum this one up as C, absolutely. The
So,
distilled water.
Yeah, because like in the placebo, this is the one that shouldn't have an effect, or we're measuring ahead of this effect.
So what you do is you then put this in, you then incubate it so that the things are at the correct temperature for the bacteria, which will have been incorporated with the agar gel.
Yeah, so you put your agar gel on top of it. Oh no, you put your bacteria on top of the agar gel and it'll grow.
So this is the bacteria you're trying to fight. It would be no use doing a bacteria that neither of these things will fight. It would be pointless.
So then what you do is, once you've swirled the bacteria around, you then cover up the thing.
Yep, make sure you seal it but not completely, so the air is still in but things can't escape.
Yeah, so you get the bacteria biohazard tape on it.
Yep, make sure you mark up which one's which, like we have done here. You wouldn't write on the disc, obviously you'd write above it on the Petri dish.
Yeah.
But make sure you know which one's which.
You do.
Incubate it.
After you've incubated it, you should see some effects.
You will. So, hopefully, which is the control C, obviously.
C is, yeah.
So the control, you should see nothing, and nothing's happened with the control.
If something has happened, something's gone wrong.
Yeah, so you can discard the whole thing and do it again.
So, assuming control has worked, control has no effect, you see the effect of the others.
You do, so I'm going to draw in dotted lines around it.
So that one, okay. So this is called a zone of inhibition. So this is where there is no bacteria, everywhere else it's just sort of, say, green or whatever colour the bacteria would go.
The zone of
So
inhibition is the marking point.
Yep, and this is where there's no bacteria growing at all. So to see the effectiveness of a drug, you often see who's got the biggest radius.
Absolutely. So in this case, by my drawing, Clever Cracker's square drug has killed the most area of bacteria because its radius
It's a lot larger.
is pretty big.
Yeah.
Compared to that, and control has none, which is what you expect because distilled water shouldn't kill the bacteria, otherwise that'd be good.
No, good, it did, but yeah. So then you'd say, you take an experiment that this is the best drug, or should you repeat still?
You would do repeat,
Try it against
do more than one
bacteria.
Petri dish, and when you measure the Petri dish, you measure the radius in more than one direction because it's not going to be a perfect circle.
Yeah, often it's sort of really funky, so you may have to do like 4, 8
I would do
directions.
3 plus at least radius, and then take a mean of that. And then find out the area. But this one is quite clear. Clever Cracker Squared has a greater area than penicillin.
So that's a success there. So you have to know all of that. Like to add that the joke about addiction in the beginning.
Yeah.
Addiction is very serious.
It's a very serious thing. Don't joke about addiction.
Yeah.
Unless it's something funny like tea.
Like tea's fine, but yes.
Tea is fine. Other ones, not fine, not funny, bad.
Bad.
Smoking addiction, get them to quit though. You should
bad.
talk about that one. Don't do that. It's bad.
Alright, so I think we should sort your tea addiction out.
Yes, I should. I think I'll have a coffee. I think I'm getting there.